Welcome back! Did you miss me? Of course you did. But let's not dally on the pleasantries, you and I. A mystery is afoot, and time is of the essence. So lucky for us, we found ourselves immediately in good company. None other than Brina D. Madani, the detective heading the investigation into Tarek Elham's murder. Now, I'm well aware she was following me around the gallery, but that's not the reason she tumbled into my lap on this fortuitous morning. Serendipity, thy name is Damon. Apparently, some Zendrick artifacts were stolen from the auction hall's storeroom on the same night as the murder. So who in town could possibly be consulted about Zendrick history? I'll give you 3 guesses, and they all start with D. But anyway, stolen artifacts. Yet another crime. One of opportunity? Perhaps not. The items in question were difficult to access, not to mention lacking in monetary value, at least when compared to the other treasures squirreled away down there. A ritual dagger, a beaded headdress, and a pair of bangles. According to Damon, they may have been involved in some manner of funeral ceremony courtesy of ancient Eberron. Plot thickens. And so, we 3 amateur sleuths began our investigation. Willow endeavored to follow up with Warfred Bartosz, the suspicious dwarven artist of the survivors. Apparently he spends his days painting portraits at the Gilded Brush, but his true passion is ceramics and the truth. So committed to the truth he saw through Willow's Warforged disguise. Additionally, he was spied talking with Edmund and Tarek on the night of the gallery. And to top it all off, he's a member of the Arum, a Moorholds rich boys club. There's certainly something off about him. With any luck, Willow will find out what. They've won themselves a VIP ticket to Warfred's home studio. Very impressive, very risky. Time will tell if it gets us any closer to the heart of the matter, the potentially fatal little mercury-poisoned heart. But what of Luca, you ask? Well, following the blood trail to the local Blood of All temple, of course. As you may recall, this whole murder mystery involved a swarm of undead. Unfortunately, the Blood of All is the first place heads will swivel when one wants to accuse someone of dabbling in the machinations of living cadavers. Here's to hoping Luca's pretty face and pleasant demeanor can pry some juicy details out of the cold, dead lands of that temple. As for me, well, I went to the one place I was told to never go. The office of a Madani detective preordained to answer her questions. But a bit of gambling in the spotlight is exactly what I'm made for. I am a whistler, after all. To be frank, I wanted to know exactly why Brina was following me, before it crept out of the shadows to bite me. And in the end, I think this can be a mutually beneficial relationship. I gave her some information and she returned the favor, to a degree. We're dancing a dance, of course we are. There are many things we simply aren't going to tell each other. Yet. But there was no point approaching her if I kept all my cards to my chest. I hinted at my own interests and pointed her in the direction of Edmund, of his possible involvement in this case. If I'm lucky, she'll heed my hearsay. In turn, she was kind enough to bring a few new facts to my attention. Did you know cinnabar is a form of mercury ore? And mercury, well, mercury can be poison. Traces were found in Kelson and Tarek's body suggest he, too, was a victim of mercury poisoning, which, by the way, can cause headaches. Sound familiar? Oh, but a most troubling revelation. Stanislav Dragovich has yet to be found, the insufferable man who was last seen barking his exhausting beliefs and picking fights with poets, the pathetic warmonger who is a proud member of the Emerald Claw. I can't say I'm fond of the idea that he's running free. And Vaelia? She wasn't even around to make a statement after Tarek's body was discovered. As a friend once told me, if you don't want to raise suspicion, you play along. And these two? They're not playing very fair, are they? But I wasn't satisfied with just this. I want Brina in my deck. A contact, an ally with power. I hear I may be in need of those. So, in the interest of solving this horrible case, I offered my services to her. A brazen gamble, I know. But guess what? She didn't turn me away. In fact, I've been handed an opportunity to prove myself. Infiltrate the Blood of All temple. And who am I accompanied by? But Brina's adorable little familiar, a piebald pigeon named Peter, who, by the way, spied on yours truly. It's child's play, really. In the bustling streets of a city, who would look twice at such a trivial little creature? They blend right in. What better way to keep tabs on people without them ever suspecting? Yes, I am familiar with familiars. But where was I? Ah, yes, gathering information on Stanislav and Veelia at the Blood of All Temple. Seeker Torg was a sweetheart, but not quite what I was looking for. Seeker Islay, on the other hand, mild, soft-spoken, no backbone in sight. Well, as for Luca, last I heard, he's got a date with the vampire in the basement.
Damn.
Very, very good. So,
I love Audrey.
she's a delight.
Thanks.
You're so perky and full of rage. Ends rage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ends rage all like tempered down into this like
Into sugar.
It's bubbling up
Yeah.
as something else, but...
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, we pick up as Luca is led down by Seeker Torg to go meet with the highest ranking champion of the faith here at the Blood of All Temple in Regalport. We follow a stone brick staircase down beneath the temple into a corridor made of similar bare stone brick. The air is cool and dry, not quite musty, but the lingering smell of incense pervades the whole as Seeker Torg leads you into the heart of the mausoleum. A faded fresco adorns the wall that surrounds the door to the crypt. It must be at least a couple centuries old. The fresco shows ships at sea, covered in dozens of red handprints, those who made the original passage, and the many hardships they had to face until they came to this land and built this temple. Seeker Torg approaches the heavy iron door and raises the handle to knock twice. A dry, quiet voice rasps, "Enter." The boar-faced Seeker opens the doors and bids you to step forward. "Bloodsworn champion, this young man has come to consult you on matters of his oath. Seeker Luca, this is the founder of this temple and a champion of our faith, Bloodsworn Seeker Nereus." You see, sitting cross-legged on the bare floor of the crypt in front of a stone coffin, a dark-skinned elf with his back turned to you. His head is shaven bald, his skin is a dusty, withered purple, and he wears the simple undergarments of a soldier, although of no nation you could recognize. He appears to be meditating. "What advice would you ask of me?" Bloodsworn Seeker Nereus says.
Is the other seeker remaining with us?
He's standing at the door.
I think Luca kind of looks between them as if he's a little bit uncomfortable with the idea of speaking aloud in front of them both,
Okay.
and hesitates.
In
for a
that
moment.
case, Seeker Torg steps back and lets the doors close.
Okay. Luca bows his head slightly, even though he can't be seen, and says, "If you're busy, I wouldn't want to interrupt."
"You are not intruding. Speak."
At a glance, can I see any indications that he is wearing anything that might indicate he's part of the Emerald Cloth?
Make a perception check.
9.
You don't see anything
Okay.
anything of note. This is a pretty plain crypt, and
Yeah.
He's wearing pretty plain clothing. So
Well, if you don't mind, I brought you some flowers. I thought, since you don't get to go out much, you might enjoy seeing them.
make a persuasion check.
11?
There's a pause, and Seeker Nereus shifts his posture slightly because he doesn't breathe. And slowly stands and turns to face you. You see now that you are looking him in the face. He's not like... He's about average height, which is small to you. But he is very obviously, like, old, and not in the sense that he is aged.
Existed for a long time, kind of old.
Yeah.
I think Luca will like glance down because he doesn't know if he's allowed to make eye contact. Seems very deferent.
Mm-hmm. The Seeker, or rather, Nereus accepts the flowers. And cradles them gently in his hands. An odd gift, but thank you.
I apologize. I don't have much experience speaking with someone of your status. How would you like me to refer to you?
Seeker Nereus is fine. You are new to the faith.
I am, yes.
How did you come by it?
Travel led me to this temple, actually. And when I was struggling with my identity, a seeker came upon me and offered me sanctuary in both her home and our faith.
And who was that? I have been here for a long time, so I am familiar with many seekers who have made their home here on Green Tarn.
What's his vibe when he says that?
Give me an insight check.
18.
So although this undead champion is very unnerving to be around, you get the sense that the way he speaks and the slowness of his behavior is very deliberate. It is intense personal discipline and focus.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the fucked up vibes, frankly, you get the sense that this guy is very on the level. He means what he says, even if he doesn't sound like it.
Okay. Can I like draw on N and Willow's criminality as it has rubbed off on me to decide whether I should give Seeker Elsa's name to him? Or could
I don't think you... I think on an 18 insight, like, saying that Seeker Elsa was the person who took care of you is not going to have any negative effect.
I mean,
Okay.
didn't she meet you here by, like, handing out food and clothes at the local temple?
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah,
always
like-
says Luca has the boon of being friendly and known, so...
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
It's one of those things of, like, if he knows Seeker Elsa, if you tell him that you were brought into the faith by Seeker Elsa, he will most likely be very understanding of that. And surely, like, even though Seeker Elsa has not personally mentioned this guy, she probably knows him.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will give Seeker Elsa's name to him.
Ah. Yes. I have not seen her in some time. But it is good to know that she has a disciple. Tell me, what advice can I offer you that Seeker Elsa cannot?
Hmm. Oh gosh.
Use that brain, Luca.
I don't. Is
I can
really
feel the
not good.
defensiveness of Luca being like, well, TK Elsa can give me every answer, actually. Good day, sir. So, like, Luca, come on, settle, mission mindedness. In a Willow in your mind theater, just whacking you in the back of the head. Come on.
Rattles the peanut.
Otherwise, DM, you can just like try and explain your situation to him and see his take on it.
Which situation specifically?
The fact that you have amnesia.
So true.
Your amnesia
Literally.
situation.
I forgot, sorry.
Yes.
You're not the only one.
Problem.
That's the definition of the problem Luca has.
I forgot the problem. Yeah. Well, we know.
Oh, this is going differently than I expected. I don't know how to spin it.
Talk.
Just start spinning.
Get out my loom.
Improv, baby.
It's not that I don't think Secret Elsa could offer me advice. In fact, she has many times. But I sometimes think maybe an outside perspective could be valuable. Or even just hearing things in a different way might help them settle in my mind.
He nods. So, tell me, Seeker Luca, about yourself.
Well, I think I was born in Kranath. I think I was a soldier, but I don't remember much prior to about 4 years ago when I was found and taken to a prison camp. That's apparently where I lost my arm. And since then, I've been sort of trying to figure out who I am and what I should do with myself until hopefully those revelations come to me. In that time, I obviously have found a lot of comfort in our faith. It's been very reassuring to know that even if I change, that which is inside of me is still something that can be nurtured. And now that I have such a respect for keeping people alive, I'm struggling when it seems like death is surrounding me
And what oath did you undertake?
How would I describe it to him? Is there a particular phrase or?
You can literally just say it is the oath of redemption.
Okay.
Or an oath of redemption.
Okay. I seek to redeem myself through my oath by living a life of goodness without bringing harm to others.
I see. You have chosen a complex path to tread. Yes. Especially considering the gaps in your memory and identity. You have not made your life easy for yourself, Seeker Luca. But that is not a bad thing, necessarily. It is simply a fact of your existence now.
There's no way I can avoid it then.
You undertook an oath.
Not. Sorry. It feels difficult when there are people who are supposed to be like me, inciting violence, and I'm not sure if you've heard of what's happened in Riggleport.
Most likely not.
Luca nods. Well, a man was killed in a very public way, and it seems likely that someone of our faith was involved, if not entirely responsible.
At that, Seeker Nereus suddenly grows sharp. Like, he's been very calm and placid, but you suddenly see this, like, twitch of focus in his face, and, like, his eyes sort of narrow. You can see now, as you are talking, like, he looks you in the eye, and you see that, like, his pupils are red.
Oh.
Like a reflective red in this, like, dimly lit room. There's like candlelight torches. And he says, a member of our faith involved. How? Explain everything.
I don't have to explain.
You don't have to roleplay explain.
No.
You just tell me what you convey. I
will tell him that I was contracted to work as a mercenary for a nobleman while attending an event, a gala, an auction. And during the auction, in the like auction hall, an army of undead was summoned and most likely used as a distraction to keep everyone focused while a murder of an individual took place, basically. And I will tell him the name of the victim, Tarek Elhelm, mentioned that he was a Syrian playwright, and that there were members of the fallen, what are they called? Seekers?
Blood Sales Principality.
Blood Sales, yeah. And someone, I will mention that there was someone who identified as a member of the Emerald Claw there, and kind of see how he responds to those two names specifically.
Give me another insight check.
7.
So
Can I use
say
my...
all this.
Never mind.
So, like, even on a 7, you can see he is not pleased by this news. You
Okay.
don't know exactly, like, the nature of this distaste, but it is very, very obvious. He says, I care not for other chapters of our faith, but if undead have been misused, and worse yet, have jeopardized people, then this cannot stand.
Luca nods like, yeah, that's kind of why I'm here. That's what I'm feeling.
I have no
So dumb.
I have no truck with the blood sails. I have no truck with the emerald claw, nor the emerged Lady Ilmarrow. These upstarts that would use the faith for short-sighted personal gain. I have overseen generations of this temple. I will not allow the work I have done to be sullied by selfish, cruel people.
That is comforting
I
to
would
know.
destroy the perpetrators myself.
Is it possible that undead of this temple were used in the attack?
No. I would know. None have been removed from the mausoleum.
Luca nods like that's a comfort to know. But that also means that there are a bunch of bodies that came from somewhere, but now we don't know where. I'm not saying this out loud. That's just, I feel like
Yeah.
he might be able to tell that's what Luca's thinking immediately.
Yeah. Are you involved with this investigation, or are you merely a bystander?
I think I might be a suspect because of. I give him like a kind of rude smile, my faith.
Very well, then. Nereus sort of turns about sharply.
Oh, what are his
Uh,
movements like? Does he move with any sort of like degradation, or is he?
he moves like quite smoothly, almost unnaturally smoothly, I would say.
Oh,
Like there is very little friction
oh,
to his movements. I will also say, like, you definitely see the fangs when he speaks, although not
oh.
much. They're not like poking out past his lips; they're contained within his mouth. But like,
Mm.
it is very apparent. If you didn't already know he was a vampire, you would certainly know that something was weird and wrong about him.
Mm.
For example, the fact that his skin is purple when like there is no liveliness to his complexion. He looks like a dead body,
Right.
just animate. So yeah, Seeker Nereus turns around sharply, pushes the lid off of his stone coffin, gently lays the bundle of white tulips inside, and withdraws a sword.
Ooh. Are you going to get involved?
It is my duty to protect those of my faith. And if someone would use undead to cause harm, then it is more so my duty as champion to put an end to it. You have your oath of redemption. I have my oath of protection. I will convey my intentions to Seeker Torg and avail myself of the local authorities. If they do not find the perpetrators, I will hunt them myself.
Luca bows his head to this. He doesn't want to disrespect his oath by objecting. So, if I may be of assistance, I will.
I imagine since you were at the event, you might vouch for my services.
Of course. Of course.
He's like not looking like he's about to leave immediately, but he has taken up his sword like he's going to start preparing to do that.
Okay.
As for the matter of your own oath.
Yes.
Your purpose is redemption. Your own and others. To redeem oneself, one must first acknowledge what suffering one has caused. No more, no less. Apologizing for everything does no more assuage the burden of your actions than apologizing for nothing. Find out what you must make amends to. Then your path will be clearer.
I think Luca looks a little bit startled by how blunt that is, how easy that seems.
It's straightforward, but
Yeah. Like,
that doesn't make it easy.
no, but it's comforting to hear it put forward in such uncertain terms.
Yeah.
So Luca nods and kind of bows his head with that, like he's accepted it. Thank you. If I may ask,
You may.
the sacrament from earlier, how long will that sustain you?
I have lived for centuries. I could live for centuries longer without a drop of blood, but the madness would take me. Martyrdom is not something easily undertaken, nor is it something easily fulfilled. The sacrament appeases the thirst.
If, while you are out, you find yourself in need, you may come to me, if you wish.
He sort of huffs a little dry laugh. and gives you a look. The offer is appreciated, and if you should make donations to the temple, I am sure we will accept. But you should be careful of what you invite with help offered so freely.
What the hell does that mean?
Make an insight check.
Why do people keep doing this to me? I'm too dumb for these, like,
I'm
these bars.
Yeah. Bro, boss, bro, I'm jazz clicking so hard in the background. There's oh god, Luca, please!
No, can I use my inspiration? I want to do this again. I want to know.
Yeah, go for it.
If you get lower than a 6.
Hey, 10!
Hey, 6! Halfway?
10!
It's
10 is enough. 10 is enough.
plus.
He's basically saying that, like, don't offer your neck openly to just any vampire.
Okay.
The reason why he is a champion of the Blood of Vol is that he goes through the series of channels, this procedure of blood given willingly.
I mean, isn't that what I did by offering?
No.
Oh. Did I
It's
mess
like,
up?
okay, I will put it into context.
Did I just invite the Strahd into my bedroom?
He is telling you not to invite the Strahd into your bedroom, basically.
Okay.
He's like being like, I appreciate you're being very generous. However, don't let yourself get exploited. There are proper ways to do this.
Okay.
It's like you don't just like donate blood by going to a hospital and saying, "Hey, anybody need blood right now?"
Anybody with a needle want to jab me right now? There's that vibe.
I meant like if he was out and about and in the middle of like a grand battle against our enemies and he needed some.
Yeah, and he needed some what, blood?
Yeah.
Luca out, like, you know, you say specifically, I would like a doctor to take my blood, an ethical one. Thank you. That's thank you, thank you, Vampire Man. In the back of Willow is here, like, yeah, good, thanks. See why I worry about this one.
Okay,
It's
Luca looks
good.
Embarrassed.
I think Seeker comes up to you and like puts a hand on your shoulder and like demands your gaze.
Oh, yes, I will abide.
Do not concern yourself for me, for I am already dead. Use your strength to protect and nurture those around you who still live, including yourself. You know what our faith seeks, the divinity within. Your own life is sacred. Do not discard its value. He lets his hand fall away as you nod and steps back. Do you have any more questions?
God, do you think I do?
I feel like you don't at this moment.
No, I feel like Luca's very satisfied with this.
Okay.
No.
I mean, you can always come back and see him again.
Yeah, we're friends now.
You have made contact, so.
Yeah. I will say, no, you've been so helpful. Thank you for taking the time to see me. And like, bow my head again.
He inclines his head slightly. Very well then. You may take your leave, Seeker Luca.
Seeker and Arius bow and leave.
Cool.
Good job.
Yay! You spoke to the
You did it!
vampire! You did it!
Yeah.
I did it!
Oh, hey, I just wrote in my book, while you guys were talking, dread washes over me. Did we just set a vampire on Regalport?
Oh, we did!
Good job, Luca.
Hey, I mean,
He's got an oath of protection, so you
he
know.
needs to protect his people.
He seems all right.
Yeah.
In terms of
No, he seemed
vampires,
really
you could sick on Regalport. He seems all right.
His vibes are immaculate, but I'm just like Willow in the background, like, we did a what with a who? A what? Huh?
I let you out of my sight for 5 minutes.
You activated a vampire to fight? Okay. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Luca is, like, surprisingly
It's-
comforted by that experience.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
expecting more, like, investigative work, but that felt, like, spiritually comforting.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that case, we cut back to the upstairs area of the temple where
You both did that.
Yep, Audrey did that too.
Let's
Temper
temper
temple.
We'll see if Rowena and I can get it. Rowena, what the fuck? Mim.
Anyway,
Continue.
we cut to the upstairs of the temple where N, disguised as Hesper Ashdown, is having a conversation with the other seeker that you saw upstairs. The mild-mannered, middle-aged elf seeker Islay. They have pale skin, short, shorn hair, like a men's haircut number 2 sort of thing.
Mhm. And
But
my detect thoughts
are-
is still open on this one.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Yes. So,
So,
uh,
you are asking about
yeah.
what?
I think I'm gonna start off by asking them. So, I hear you tend to the undead here?
Oh, yes, I do.
How long have you been tending to them?
Oh, several years now. I would say perhaps 50 years or so.
Wow. Are they the only ones at this temple that you tend to, or?
There is not another Temple of the Blood of Vol in Regalport, so yes.
Mm. And he's being honest, or they're being honest, rather?
Yeah, they are being honest. Like surface thoughts, you sense a sort of general unease,
Hmm.
though it is hard to pinpoint what exactly that unease is about.
Mm-hmm.
So you may just need to lead the question.
Yeah. So, tell me, Seeker Islay, have you been keeping up with the news lately?
Oh, no, I'm afraid it moves a little too quickly for me. I've heard that the war has ended, which is good news.
So, nothing about a particular incident at the Grand Auction Hall, then?
No, I don't believe so.
Is that true?
Yeah. They are genuinely oblivious to what has been going on so far, but they don't know anything yet, or at least they don't know that it happened at the Grand Auction Hall.
Mm-hmm.
So keep talking.
That's interesting. Because, from what I heard, some undead attacked the Grand Auction Hall.
My goodness. That, like, pings a hint of what? And was it them? Not as in referencing Seeker Islay itself, but an unspoken them.
Yeah. Seeker Islay, do the names Drakovich or Vaelia mean anything to you?
You immediately hear recognition in their mind, and they say, I don't think so. But there are many travelers who pass through the temple who are faithful elsewhere, but seek some familiarity here.
Let me stop you right there. You're not a very good liar.
I don't understand.
Do the names Stanislav Drakovich or Vaelia mean anything to you?
Make either a persuasion or an intimidation check, your choice.
14.
Cool. I am going to roll a wisdom saving throw for
them.
For Seeker Islay.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna keep talking then, because I still see them climbing up.
I think they say, I am not obligated to share names of other faithful with you.
Let me
Especially
put this into perspective for you, Islay. The Blood of All is looking really bad right now. People died. People were killed by undead. Who do you think they're going to look at? Now, you can either cooperate with me and tell me what you know, or you and the congregation you love might be under some scrutiny.
Seeker Islay keeps an okay poker face, but that's not much use when you can directly hear their thoughts racing inside their mind of like, what did they do? What have I gotten myself into? How does this person know? What do they want from me?
Islay, if you are involved, I can make sure that you're protected, either from whoever got you involved or from the authorities. You just have to work with me.
Make another persuasion check.
Oh my god. Oh!
Whew. Seeker Islay says, Please allow me some time to think about this. I was unaware of you over here of like, what have I gotten myself into? I didn't think it would end up like this. Seeker Islay is like running through memories of being spoken to by Vaelia in particular about offering sanctuary to two fellow faithful, and how they promised Vaelia rewards and more sympathetic champions who would grant them the protection that they sought. It is very clear to you, because you're like reading their surface thoughts, that they are scared and sort of grappling with the situation.
How much time exactly are you suggesting here?
A day. Would a day be all right?
You sure you have that?
You faintly hear them trying to see if, like, would I be able to warn them? No. I'm too suspicious right now. I can't tell them anything.
Them as in others, or them as in me?
It's them, Dragovich and Vaelia,
Okay.
who appear to be somewhere in Regalport laying low. You don't know where exactly.
Are they in cahoots?
Islay, look at me.
Yes.
My friend is dead. I really, really don't want to get you in trouble. If you're not the one who did this. So work with me.
I make one more persuasion check with advantage. I'll say that's enough. The DC has been lowered. And they say, yes, I am sorry for your loss. What can I do?
Whatever you know, if you have something that will be useful in catching the culprit who was involved in the death of my friend. Information, evidence, anything I can use.
I don't have much information, but I can tell you where those two people that you mentioned are. They are awaiting transport on a ship named the Gannet. They are staying here in the warehouse district, biding their time until they are able to set sail. I am truly sorry. I did not know that. I had no idea.
I understand. That's why I want to help you, Islay.
Yes.
You don't need to get in trouble for this. You didn't know.
Yes.
But you can do the right thing now. And you are.
Yes.
Can you do one more thing?
They sort of pause and shuffle and pull out a key from inside of their sleeve.
And
This
watches
is... Take this. It is to their safe house.
Did they mention where that was? Was that
Yeah, they'll tell you the address, and you like sort of see as you are overhearing the surface thoughts, like a bit of how to get there.
Cool.
So you know which you see an image of like the building that you're looking for in particular. So even if the address means nothing to you,
Yeah. All right. Thank you. And we'll accept the key. And En's gonna pull out their notebook and write down Damon's address at the Gold Dragon and tear the paper and offer it to Islay. If some suspicious people happen to contact you again, feel free to get in contact with me. I'll make sure you don't get any deeper in this than you already have.
Yes, I have clearly misjudged.
Hey, Blood of All is all about continual improvement, right?
I suppose that is one way to frame it, yes.
No, you're improving right now. And offers the scrap of paper to them.
They accept it. You don't know if they will actually come to you, but you feel like this deep sense of shame welling up inside them.
Good.
As you have like perfectly caught them out. Like, you didn't have to be this hard of a touch. You could have probably like steered this conversation in a way where Islay was oblivious to being a maid. But now that you have cornered them so, verbally and mentally, there is no chance of them forewarning Ilya and Dragovich,
That's the idea.
who are in cahoots.
So it seems.
Noted.
So, En's gonna give Islay a smile, pat them firmly on the shoulder. Thanks for the talk.
Islay looks uncomfortable, but they nod and excuse themselves.
And we'll toss the key a couple times in their hands, snatch it, and turn on their heel. Where's Peter at?
On your shoulder.
Okay, cool.
You did all that intimidation with a pigeon on you?
That's how
Or did it
good I
fly
am,
after?
baby!
My gosh. To be terrified of someone with a pigeon on their shoulder, and
The advantage actually came from the pigeon. It was giving Islay a stern
the
look as
murder
well.
eyes, it's like, points two feathers at its eyes and points at Islay.
oh. What the hell?
No, that means Brina saw that Islay was involved. She might
We'll have a
arrest
conversation.
them. No, don't let her. He made a mistake.
Talk about it. Were you gonna say something, Zeke?
Anyway, I was going to say that Seeker Islay leaves basically as your spell fades out. And shortly after, Luca comes back upstairs.
I think En's like by the doorway, leaned up against the frame. Probably running a coin on their fingers, but not just to activate a spell, just to keep their hands busy.
Yeah.
Luca looks, big-eyed and childish. I can't think of a word for it,
Yeah.
No, I'm just laughing.
Full of
'cause you had
wonder.
two wildly different conversations.
Oh yeah.
Somehow the
Yeah.
conversation with the vampire in the crypt was less intimidating.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
Yeah. Maybe so. Anyway. So, you both got what you came for. and you have reconvened at the doorway. I imagine you are both exiting the temple
Yes.
at this point. Sun has set and street lights are on in Regalport.
Also, I think, slight retcon, I think the address that N gave Islay is their P.O. box rather than an Apple.
Yeah.
Ah, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Just like message me if they get in contact with you. But not a home
Yeah.
address.
Yes.
If we weren't living at the Gold Dragon, that'd be a different story. They can ambush Damon and that'd be fine. But since we're there,
Wow.
Yeah.
he can take it.
He's a big guy.
Anyway, carry on.
Cool. So you exit through the curtains of the temple and out into the night air of Regalport in a late spring evening.
God, are there any shops open? Do you think?
There might be a few, not around this neighborhood, but like towards the center, where closer to the hotel. Yeah, probably there's some.
So on the way to the hotel, I could
Yeah.
like weave through some shops. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we going to converse on the way back? You and I? And
We could. And we'll probably wait for you to tell them how your visit with the vampire went. You came back in one piece, so that's a good start, I assume. And like leans to try and look beyond Luca's like neck piece.
no, just the finger prick from before. How did yours go? No injuries? No fist fights I have to worry about?
Nope, I was very well behaved. And pats their pocket where the key is.
Luca raises an eyebrow like, what?
I got a few notable details about a couple notable people, but you go first.
Oh. Well, I met the Seeker. He was very nice. He liked the flowers, I think. He told... I actually don't know how much Luca can share, like how much he feels comfortable sharing. Like, it's not his
It's
business to,
I intimidated information out of one secret today. I'm good.
He is going to consult with the authorities. Luca nods.
Huh. That's good, I suppose.
Yeah. And I don't believe that the undead that were used came from this mausoleum.
No. So that's still a mystery.
I wonder if... Do you think... I look at the bird. Do you think I could see them? I might be able to discern something.
Well, something tells me I'm going to be meeting with your owner, Peter, tomorrow. So we'll have that conversation then, or I can ask her about that then. I have a feeling we might have a good conversation. And smiles at Peter.
Are familiars like actual animals? Or are they like...
It depends.
Does this bird want me to carry it and pet it? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I
It want chin scratches?
I think it'll be amenable to chin scratches.
It liked pets.
Yeah.
It accepted the bread, so like it eats.
I'm gonna like get it onto my finger and start petting it as we walk.
Make an animal handling check real quick.
12?
Yeah.
So Luca is patting the bird as we have this conversation.
Good.
What did you discern? If anything. I assume you did. You're very convincing.
Persuasive.
Mhm.
Well, for one thing, and it's gonna like pull out the key and jingle it in Luca's face and then put it away. I have the key to their safe house.
Who's safe house?
And it's probably messaging at this point.
Okay, yeah.
Ve Ilya
Well, who's-
Andrakovich.
What? Luca says aloud.
And that is where we will cut the scene.
Yes.
And flash over to the Gold Dragon, where we left Willow and Damon about to have a study session.
Oh.
Yes. What's Damon doing? Like, where is he in the room?
Well, he let you in, so I imagine he had like, I think he has like a journal with like a thick, almost like a logbook, on the desk that has a bookmark in it. But it's like 2 books sort of folded together as a bookmark.
Yes, the book sandwich. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he asks, "No, really, why are you asking about the 13th mark? If I don't know
So
what
he's
you're
back.
looking for, I won't be able to give you information that... If I don't know what you're looking for, I can't really answer your question."
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll start with what you already mentioned. Willow's probably pacing then, if Damon is looking at his book.
No,
and
I think he's
Oh.
not actually looking at his book. It's just that he had
sitting
one.
with his book.
Yeah, he's sort of like sitting with his back to the desk he was clearly like working at.
Can I do a quick? What's a nosy check I can do to see what the book is? If
Perception.
there's anything about it. Okay. Oh.
What'd you roll?
Perception. Oh no, didn't roll yet. It's just loading. I rolled a 1.
Oh.
It became
Damon
a 5,
is
but it was still in that one.
Damon is so clearly like blocking you from being nosy.
Okay, yeah, Willow pulls back with it. Okay. And then they will pull out their book.
You try and lean, and Damon is like, "Hey."
Did he click?
Yeah.
Okay, Willow gives him a look, like a little nose wrinkle, like, don't click at me. But like they don't say it. It's just clear that they mean it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And he
they
means
probably wrote...
don't spy on me.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, Willow will look at their book. They I imagine them pacing while they talk. So they'll mention. So you mentioned a few topics of interest. Maybe you could elaborate. What is this? You mentioned that there used to be a dragon mark that was destroyed. There is a 13th mark. Huh?
There's a conspiracy that there was a 13th mark.
Yeah. Let's just roll with it as if it's true, huh? So, used to be a 13th mark, maybe. The other one is the Cult of the Dragon below, that there will be a mark eventually. And then the other one is to be made artificially. Yes? These are our 3 avenues currently?
Yeah.
Okay, so first one. You mentioned that there was, that it is a conspiracy, as you keep saying, it's conjecture. What's detailed about it?
The conjecture is that the reason why Arganessen and Eberron have never formally formed any sort of political connection is because there was a war started by whatever this 13th mark was.
When?
Look, thousands of years ago. Like, thousands of years ago. I don't think... This is why it's important to have you ask about... Damon gives a frustrated sigh and, like, rubs his forehead. Sorry, I've been reading all day and it's...
you need a break?
No, I'm fine.
Willow gives a look like
I'll
clearly,
just
but
give
they
you
will
a-
just take as yeah.
I'll just give you a...
Pretend you are not confined by the academia and just talk to me as if we're both, not going to back it up with facts. Gossip. I know that goes against your, Willow gestures vaguely at him.
How much do you know about Argonassen?
I'm gonna do I do a history check?
Yes. There be dragons!
I feel like Willow gets like a little, I don't know if it's a wry smile, but like a very wide, tense smile, because last time they spoke to Damon about this, it was awkward.
Yeah.
But Willow will just mention, with a weird smile, dragons.
So nothing. Great.
Do you know anything about Argonassen?
Yes, I know some things about Argonassen, because they were the ones that obliterated the giants from existence, supposedly, if the giants didn't go somewhere else.
Yes, I remember you mentioning this.
Well, what do you know about the relationship between Eberron and the giants of Zendrick?
Can I do another history check?
Yeah.
19?
So, as you understand the history, there were groups of elves in Zendrick that were subjugated by the civilization of giants that used to live there, that then rebelled and fought against them. The giants had many enemies.
Sounds like it. And when he says the dragons, they obliterated the giants?
Yes.
So Zendrick elves subjugated by giants, then rebel, and also tangential or thus like vaguely related is dragons killed giants?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna quickly open my own lore documents just to make sure I'm getting things right. So, about 80,000 to 40,000 years ago is when we believe the Age of Giants was at its height. Before that came the Age of Demons. After that came the Age of Monsters. The Age of Monsters is marked by the end. The end of the Age of Monsters is marked by the fall of the Empire of Dakan. So, considering that we've just had 100 years of war on the mainland, it's pretty difficult to come by information pertaining to tens of thousands of years ago. I don't know the exact specifics of the conspiracy that there used to be a different mark among the elves of Eberron or the elves of Zendrick that rebelled against the giants, and that they came into conflict with the dragons of Argonassen. So I can't say.
Came into conflict with the giants or the elves came into conflict with the dragons?
The elves came into conflict with the dragons.
Oh, damn. Okay.
It's like, the conspiracy is like, hey, why have the elves and the dragons never, like, talked to each other at all? They are both extremely long-lived races of people that are relatively geographically near each other. So Damon explains, like, dragons of Argonassen, if there is a civilization of them, or if there's just like a bunch of essentially powerful monsters that live there, have never liaised with the elves of Erenol, nor have the elves of Erenol liaised with the dragons of Argonassen. They are both very isolationist kind of places.
Yeah, so we can't, like, it's just because both of them would have opposed the giants doesn't mean that they were working together.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And it's also like, this is why this is a conspiracy, is because, like, well, why have they never worked with each other? Is it because there was a secret 13th mark that threatened the dragons? That, or the elves? Or what have you? It's like, again, it's one of those things where it's like truly wild conjecture of like, yeah.
Okay. And Willow's going to say, off the back of Damon's exasperated explanations, they're taking notes. Like, while they're pacing, they're stopping every now and then to take notes, and then like nodding as if like his his tired, like, can't believe I'm saying this shit kind of vibe is still hitting Willow as like information to take aboard. So take on board rather. So they'll mention, so considering your tone about all this, I suppose you don't have any theories about how it was destroyed.
I assume a massacre. Look, again, this isn't my area of expertise.
I know. Well, let's skip to the next one. You know a lot about dragons, apparently. So, the cult of the dragon below.
Okay, that's maybe a misleading name. You know that the dragon below refers to the realm of Kyber, right?
I do. I just thought it was a fun pun. But maybe you're not feeling very fun today.
Yeah, I'm a little tired out on fun, if you could believe it. This is not necessarily my idea of fun. This is my idea of work. If I wanted fun, I don't know, go join a fighting tournament and lose.
Well, we're stuck in Regalport for a while longer, so maybe you'll have your opportunity. Until then, would you mind answering what you know about this cult?
It's not a specific cult. See, there are a whole bunch of people everywhere on Corvair who end up stumbling towards Kyber or get curious exploring it and find things that they shouldn't. And then they get a bit weird about it. Since, pretty sure that it's assumed that there's leftover Dalkir artifacts and whatnot down there, strange magical inventions, and also just, you know, your average mind-breaking monsters that could, ensorcel gullible folks. It is believed that dragon marks are the mark of Sybaris, or else, particularly large dragon marks are called Sybaris dragon marks because they are very powerful and elaborate, you know. Dragon mark house politics. So, every now and then a group of weirdos pops up and is like, we're the chosen ones. We've got the real 13th mark. We're extra special. We're... I don't know. I don't pretend to understand that kind of person.
Willow, like, shrugs, nods. In their book, they've written, like, weirdos. Mim's going to confirm, because so, what about them makes them dragon marked in that concept? Did he explain that?
Okay, so there is some confusion in terms of terminology The dragon below refers to the progenitor dragon, the concept of the underworld. It is not it's a literal dragon in the sense of like, it is a huge fearsome monster that existed at the dawn of creation, and it forms the underworld below Eberron that is also like full of pocket dimensions. That is Kyber. The cults of the dragon below refers to, it's an umbrella term that basically refers to any niche cult activity that is influenced by Kyber.
Yeah.
So there is no one monolithic cult. There are, in fact, many cults that all contradict each other constantly because they're all individualistic, tiny cells of people who have, like, fallen down into a cave, found some monster, and be like, I saw God. I saw God under the Denny's parking lot, you know?
Bro, me too.
Really,
The fuck? Let's start
who
a religion.
among us hasn't?
What if God was one of us?
Just a goat chilling under the Denny's car park. We don't even have Denny's in Australia, so I wouldn't know. Macca's car parks where we find our demons.
Yeah.
No, okay. Sorry, if I may, it's because what I didn't understand was the chosen ones. Okay, Damon said last week that there will be a 13th mark eventually. Like, is anything he say linked to that?
It's basically the, like, oh, there's 12 established dragon marks. So clearly, the next big thing will be number 13, you know? It's like Planet X in our day and age. We've discovered other dwarf planets beyond Pluto in the Kuiper Belt, but everybody's still looking for the massive Planet X, which does not exist. So that is what he means by 13th mark. It's this, like, nebulous concept of, like, ooh, we've got 12. What if there was another one?
And this is just a concept that these cults have frequently
they can latch onto. It's like, it's it's not like the main thing they latch onto, but it is like one of those things where it's like, the chosen one will have the 13th dragon mark, you know, sort of thing.
Okay, yep.
It's that sort of easy, vague shit that you can turn into, like, apocalyptic prophecy, you know?
Yeah, it's like the rising of blank will facilitate the end of the world, but in this case, the blank is dragon mark because dragon marks are so normalized and powerful in this context. Yeah?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Willow's happy to hear that, and I fully understand why Damon is like, shut the fuck up, like, about having to echo this stuff. He's like echoing creepypastas at me at the moment. It's so funny.
Basically everything that Damon has told you about is like creepypasta and conspiracy theory, and like, you have asked a physicist about flat earthers.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, I was about to say I'm asking him to explain flat Earth, like, and why people believe in the flat Earth. I just need to take a moment.
Like, I don't know. They're dumb and crazy, and I hate it.
Why did you bring this to my doorstep?
And Willow's just like flatly absorbing it, like he's giving, like he's a tutor for the subject he does not want to teach.
Damon's sitting there like, maybe my brother isn't worth it anymore.
Okay, and then Willow.
If this was all it took to dissuade him, he would not be here.
Yeah.
Damon is just fried.
Yeah.
Oh, give him a hug. No kiss on the forehead.
No.
Bed.
Okay. Willow is musing to themselves, though, like tapping their pen on their mouth, like thinking like an idiot. Pacing quietly for a bit and just like, well, I suppose if they think something is coming, I wonder what they're linking that to. Anyway, you mentioned something about House Tarkanan.
Okay, that's a little more legit. So, House Tarkanan is, as far as I know, a shadowy criminal organization that takes in aberrant dragon marks in Sharn. It's named after, I think, the guy who can't remember which tower he blew up, but there was him and I think the Lady of Plagues or something that caused havoc on Sharn. Oh, I'd say somewhere around the War of the Mark. Let me think. Let me quickly look up something. The DM.
Even accessing his brain bank.
Hands rifling through his brain pockets.
So
all of us has fun ways to do that.
Yeah. So, the War of the Mark was about 1,500 years ago. When the established dragon-marked houses launched an inquisition to sort of consolidate their power and exterminate those who carried aberrant marks, or like to stamp out people who were propagating aberrant marks.
And if you wouldn't mind just explaining what aberrant marks are, just for the
aberrant marks are dragon marks that are aberrations to the norm. They appear on people who would not normally have dragon marks, or appear as a result of dragon marked heritage being mixed. They are usually very volatile and destructive, whereas most established dragon marks have more constructive powers associated with them. So, for example, the Mark of Making is able to make stuff, repair stuff, infuse stuff with magic, make it better, more durable, that sort of thing. Aberrant dragon marks, as far as we know, or as far as been recorded, is always a destructive, volatile power that often hurts the wielder to use.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
So if aberrant dragon marks usually possibly come about when like two dragon marked people get together and have special cuddles, is that something that's generally like looked down, like avoided?
Yes, it is. It is prohibited for people of dragon mark descent to marry into the other houses.
Okay.
So Deneth and Kenneth never commingle.
Okay.
Because it's like, it's one of those things of like, sure, nothing could happen, or you could create a ticking time bomb of a person. So don't do that. It is one of those. Aberrant dragon marks are understood as dangerous, destructive conditions, and people with them are regarded with high superstition and like fear because of the actions of Hellas Tarkanan, the guy who lends the name to House Tarkanan, which is a relatively recent thing, who took refuge in the city that used to be that is where Sharn is now. It basically Hallis Tarkanan and the Lady of Plague are responsible for the destruction of the city that is where Sharn is now. So the ruins of Pompeii were caused by these people. Hallis Tarkanan, the guy, was also known as the Earthshaker. He literally summoned he and his compatriots summoned like an earthquake and a devastating plague of vermin that leveled a city 1,500 years ago. And the House Tarkanan is a criminal organization that takes the name of this very famous destroyer and collects people who have aberrant dragon marks. And that's what Dana knows about them.
Hey, idle thought. From my studies of N, do their powers hurt them?
No.
No, and has talked about how it doesn't feel like pain. It feels more like being overwhelmed, and that has been becoming tempered as N is becoming more
accustomed to them.
Accustomed using their powers more. But yes, Willow did ask that very early on and described it as being overwhelming more than painful.
Yeah.
Okay.
N's powers are scary, not self-damaging.
Yeah, okay.
I burn you, not
Willow's...
burn me. That's the scary part.
Aw. Okay. Willow might... I don't know if I actually mentioned this already. So Willow's going to say... You mentioned the artificial creation of a dragon mark. Or a 13th
Yeah,
mark.
well, like I said, the number 13 is significant because there are currently 12 known and established dragon marks. Even if there are 13 houses, what with Thorani having split off, hopefully that doesn't set a precedent that would be complicated and annoying.
Dragon marks always are.
He raises an eyebrow at you.
Willow shrugs and will say, but making one artificially, is there any detail of how?
No.
Even wild conjecture. No?
I mean, the
Not at all?
wild conjecture is, I guess, the same way that you would create a certain cultivar of flower or vegetable, you know? You just roll the inheritance dice over and over until you get something that sticks. I'm assuming that's their plan so far. You
That's
can't
just true.
put one dragon mark on another person. That's just not how it works. And just because I've said that, don't go thinking that I'm tempting fate. It's genuinely not how it works.
Willow gives a look that is like a who knows, but it's distinctly to annoy him. You never know.
He rolls his eyes.
Yeah, Willow was deep in thought. But they kind of back to idly pacing.
So, now that I've given you all of this information, where did you hear about the 13th mark? And why do you care? Doesn't have anything to do with this murder investigation, does it?
Even through their glasses, you can tell that Willow's paused and given him like a side look and then kept pacing. Their hand is like tapping on their lip while they... It's... Yeah, they just...
He gives you a minute to pace.
I think he might
Does
need
Willow
to prod
say
again.
anything?
No.
Come on, Jenkins. Throw me a bone.
It might be relevant. I don't know yet.
Where did you hear about it? What context?
I don't think I'm allowed to say.
He raises an eyebrow. Why's that?
Willow shrugs. It might not be my information to share.
Right, so it pertains to the rest of your group.
Fine. You're a very smart person. Why didn't you tell me? Willow will return to pacing after having paused to consider their words.
Damon makes a face like, what am I supposed to start with that? What does that mean? It's like, this isn't my information to share. So does it pertain to, Luca and Dan? You tell me. And it's just like, Well, if you're done asking questions and you're not going to tell me anything, mind if I catch some shut-eye?
He's not going to take a guess? Mim says?
No. Because Willow is being annoying.
Sorry.
Willow is being annoying and Damon is not in the mood to play. If Damon... What? Give me an insight check, actually.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I think I will pause, especially when he's being okay, can you fucking leave then? Willow's gonna be like, okay, I'll check.
So, if Willow is not going to divulge the information willingly, Damon is going to go ask Anne and Luca when they get back, and not play this game of keep away with Willow, because he feels like he is getting worse at talking to you, because you always seem to catch him in a bad mood, and the fact that you keep catching him in a bad mood is annoying him more than your behavior. The fact that he is he keeps getting shitted off at you is annoying him more than the fact that you are shitting him off.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Okay, yeah, that's enough for Willow to throw him a bone. They feel bad. Okay, fine. No, they won't feel bad for him. That'll probably make him feel worse. Anyway, let's just. Do you remember the question I asked you on the way to the auction hall?
What do I think of fate? That is one long conversation to have. Oh, I see. I get it now.
Yeah, Willow nods like they thought he would.
Yeah. Little White mentioned something to me. About a hag.
That's generous of them.
No, they were digging. They tried to see what kind of bait I'd bite onto, and, well... Who hasn't heard of the Calden fragments and the Draconic prophecy? We cut briefly to Luca.
I want to keep it a surprise. If that's okay.
I don't think the kind of shops that you're looking for are open at this time of day.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry.
We cut to Luca standing outside despondently, the closed shops.
Yeah.
Little sad pigeon noise.
Are we gonna have a chat when we get back to? Sorry. In which case,
I don't know if I'm talking to if I need to elaborate on what we just started on with Damon.
Like with us, you mean?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening with the Damon convo.
I think with the Damon convo, it might be okay, if it's pertaining to the prophecy that concerns all three of you, maybe we should have this conversation with all three of you present. Okay. So you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm giving away secrets.
I don't know if Willow wants to mention it in front of Luca yet.
Well then.
They did mention it to Damon with the caveat of I can open this conversation now. But they I don't know if they want to say it in front of Luca yet. Not unless he
Well,
walks in at the tail end of it.
Well, then you're going to need to communicate to Damon, like, what information you want and why.
I'm mainly just curious about what he's asking. Like, what is he asking for?
He's asking for you guys, for you, Willow, to relay the prophecy as you received it. Because he's assuming that the reason you're asking about the 13th mark is because it showed up in the prophecy. That is the context clue you have given him. He's like,
Yeah.
I need the actual wording to understand what is going on.
Think. Do you guys mind me just doubling back on like what specifically Willow might tell him?
You know what? Let's cut up, and we briefly see Luca standing despondently outside of a closed shop, and then we cut back to the interior where Damon and Willow are conversing, and Damon says, "So, are you going to tell me the phrasing of the prophecy, or is that a whole group conversation?"
Well, Willow kind of like scratches their nose. I'm sort of unsure if I want to mention it in front of. Okay. Slight head press, like the tapping on their head.
Mm-hmm.
I have reason to believe, maybe, that it may involve forgotten pieces of Luca's past, and given that everything is so tense at the moment, I'm not entirely sure I want to bring it up right now.
Right. And you don't want to table this question until a later date? When we're not... He gestures vaguely. You know.
Mim question. What question?
The question of, like, the 13th mark. Because Damon is not going to give you any more information or, like, discuss anything more related to the 13th mark until you give him context.
Okay, then Willow's going to mention, well, with everything that's happening currently, I don't know that I can put it past that this is, cult related. We are dealing with members of the Emerald Claw and other nefarious dealings. So while it doesn't help, historically to think like an idiot, it does help to understand how idiots think. You see.
Right.
And whether those thought processes involve killing Tyrek Elham, perhaps, or any other such dealings.
Right, well... I can't say either way. I'll leave the investigation to the detective.
Would you
Sorry,
put any
I've got
stuff
my
in
own
the prophecy?
priorities. Depends on the prophecy and who's given it.
What if it seemed to come from the, a legitimate source?
Well then, try and figure out what it means.
Willow's gonna glance. Is his sword in the room?
Yeah.
Can I make a check on it?
What kind of check? What you looking for?
Anything about it?
To see if it sets on fire.
Like, I want to know if there's anything about it I can glean from a glance.
Make a perception check.
I don't think Willow's subtle about what they looked to. But...
Oh, probably not.
Yes, they really are.
On a 14 perception, I think you can tell that the blade is made of adamantine.
I did know that one.
So but that's all you really get at a glance. Like,
Yeah.
it's a great sword made of adamantine, like solid adamantine.
Okay, Willow's gonna ask, does that set on fire?
What are you talking
No.
about?
It's nothing, I suppose.
No, you don't get to pull that trick twice in
Oh.
one night. Come on. Damon is gonna make an insight check. He rolled an 11. Make a deception check, though. Ha!
Well, I mean, Willow's not actively trying to deceive you. It's just like it's quite clearly connected. It's not as non sequitur as
Yeah.
it might seem.
Is there something about a fiery sword in that prophecy of yours?
Willow nods. I've been curious whether it's yours.
Well, I can't say either way if you won't tell me the actual wording of the thing, because here's the thing. Prophecy is real specific about its wording. It is so easy to get things wrong when they get mistranslated or reworded in a certain way. So, he gives you a little smile. Why not tell me what you got to lose? Because if you're worried about losing your dignity, I'm afraid that ship has sailed quite a while ago. And so is mine, so... He gestures.
Well, so sorry to my friends. Willow is going to say 2 lines. I see 4 pillars unmoving, each a trial in its own right, though only one will promise fortune at the threshold. I consider that you are potentially the one promising fortune at the threshold, if not just because you keep insisting. And the other, the blazing blade, seeks those who will carry it beyond the borders of darkness. It might just be because you're red. I don't know.
Okay. I'm gonna roll some dice.
So anyways, I don't know.
I'm so annoyed we don't get to see. I want to know.
I feel like you guys are going to show up any second now, so it's okay.
Hey, as long as you're not talking about me, right? Because that might be upsetting.
I am deliberately not having this conversation with you guys because of you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Insight into Willow's journals, the past 2 days have just been them going, woo, I can't say this in front of Luca.
I mean, you don't know how he'll respond.
I don't, but I don't have
Neither
the
do I.
capacity to handle that. Yeah. See, the unknown is a big problem.
Okay.
For Willow.
Can't be a problem. It's everything that I have.
Oh my god.
Well done. Anyway. Right.
Fade into the background.
So... Okay. You're giving me not much to work with there. But clearly you received some sort of prophecy from this hag. And you think I have something to do with it?
This little nose wrinkle of like, this is embarrassing to say out loud. He said the thing about dignity having sailed, but Willow's like, No, I have enough left to be embarrassed by this.
He sort of nods and goes, all right, well, I can't start anything with that.
Figured as much, but yeah. Worth a mention, maybe. Until I have clearance. Did I divulge the rest?
Fair enough.
I'm not deliberately trying to... You
No,
know.
I get it.
You do?
We have, yeah, unfortunately so. To answer your earlier question, what do I think about fate? It's complicated. But when you boil it down, fate is just consequences.
Willow sits a bit straighter and nods.
If you knew where everything was, how it was moving, and how those things would intersect, you could probably map out the next, I don't know, few seconds, minutes, hell, maybe even days, weeks, months of what will happen next. That's how I understand fate, at least. It is not some grand design written by the gods. It is not poetic or neat. And it is not unchangeable.
It's like the weather.
Cause and
That's how I
effect.
understand it. Is it? Willow gives a bit of a wistful smile at the mention.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it appears that we're on the same page, more or less, other than all the pages missing, but so it goes.
I'm sure it'll become clearer over time. Or not.
Undoubtedly. Or we die. Well, I die. I don't know yet.
What's that supposed to mean?
You don't seem easily killable. Not to say it's impossible, but... Well, neither do I suppose. No, I think I'd be pretty much more killable than you are. Anyway, that's besides the point.
Damon raises his eyebrow in amusement at you.
You hungry? Obviously. I should probably mention as well, since I walked in to find you all zany over studying, I can also assist in research. That is sort of what I'm good at.
I know you are.
Though, I do expect that at Antego, you probably have secrets that would make my pea brain split, so who knows?
Well, I'll think about it. Well, you're pretty good at inferring things from scraps. Most cases, the things I'm trying to figure out require a lot of background knowledge.
I figured. Obviously.
So, I'll let you know when it's your time to hit the books.
Thanks. Willow is doing something else while they're probably looking through room service menu or something.
Yeah.
Just while this offer has been made. And probably just before the convo wraps, we'll mention Oh, and thanks, by the way,
You're welcome.
for no, for speaking when I didn't. Appreciate it. Thank you.
He nods.
And we'll head towards however we order room service here. Do I have to go downstairs? They probably put on their cognate mask.
I feel like they have messaging capabilities.
They have messaging? Okay, then Willow's going to
Or
cut the
it's like
conversation off by ordering something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Damon spots Anne and Luca out the window approaching the hotel. So you are all able to reconvene over dinner.
Yummy.
That work?
Yeah.
Yep.
I assume Peter has gone home by now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you got up to the hotel, Peter
Peter
gave you a little. Yeah, Peter petered off. Peter accompanied you safely.
Oh, he escorted us
Thanks,
home.
Peter. Make sure no
Yeah.
assassins were following us.
Yeah,
Much
exactly.
appreciated.
If anything happened to you, like between you going to the Blood Vault Temple and going home, that would be negligence. On Peter's behalf.
Good little guy.
Oh.
Working
Gone
pigeon.
off. Yep.
Cute.
Little
Yeah.
pigeon escort.
Luca will absolutely convey this to Willow and Damon.
Oh, ain't that cute?
What's Damon's vibe by the time these guys get here?
Better. Less frazzled. He's relaxed. More into his usual forward-facing self.
Nice. So sorry you keep getting pathetic zoned whenever Willow's in the room. Sorry for your life.
Anyway.
You two keeping busy?
Just a
Were
bit
you
of
talking
light
about me?
reading. Nah.
Have to change that.
Oh, someone's
How'd
probably going to be
your
talking
little
about
venture
you.
go?
Well, N was very fruitful.
Did you find them?
I didn't find them. But, and we'll probably message this to Damon and Willow in turn, or maybe just Willow.
Mhm.
I don't know if Damon cares. But I suppose just to keep everyone in the loop. I know both the location of Aelia and Dragovich and the location of their storeroom, which I have a key for, and I'm rather certain they were both involved as well as working together. And then smiles.
Willow said that, like, did you find them with like a jokey smile of like, probably not, like maybe not. You saying that has like wiped the smile from their face. Like, brief moment of stunned. And then bigger smile. Okay.
And whatever we have on the table, one's gonna like take a piece of it, toss it in their mouth, and sit back, very self-satisfied.
The system works.
I better get to working on those contracts of yours if I want to keep you on my payroll before you start becoming independent investigators.
We can do both.
Hmm.
Double the pay.
So what
No,
did you
my
find out?
hours are pretty
Wait,
demanding.
We're like leaning across the table while Damon is still talking, like low-key drumming on the side of the table. So what did you find out? Like, what is it?
Well, as
You
I
don't
said,
have to repeat it. But
yes,
yeah.
and is going to
Yeah.
talk about they're working together. It mentioned Secret Islay and mentioned the ship that Dragovich and Baelia are currently stowed away on, waiting for it to
So I need to clarify.
Yes, please.
Dragovich and Vaelia are going to leave on the ship, the Gannet.
Okay.
They are not on it yet. They are waiting for it
In
to make
a-
ready.
Gotcha.
They're in a safe house,
So they're
right?
probably still in the
Yes.
safe house. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are currently laying low until they can
Gotcha.
smuggle aboard.
Okay.
Can I do a history check on whether I know what the gannet is?
Yeah, Anne was actually going to ask Willow if they know
Sure.
anything about that ship or like how much time we have before it's dirty 20.
Ooh. Okay, so the Gannet is a trade ship that goes up and down the coast of the principalities. What they are likely going to do is like hop from ship to ship. An old smuggler's route of like dropping a box off to be picked up elsewhere, that sort of thing. The Gannet is a merchant ship. It's a relatively big one, so it's easy to hide things on it. It is named after a seabird. And it is not associated with any of the principalities, which makes it easier for them to be proxy traders between principalities that would not necessarily get along.
Do I know roughly when, like, how long we have?
Considering that there is a current, like,
Travel ban?
travel ban, you are very lucky that they didn't leave on the same night. So you probably have a day.
Oof.
So we should go now.
Hey. No, as in, like, it would probably leave. You have a day to get into position, basically. So 2 days. So it'll probably leave in
Day
2
after
days.
tomorrow is when we want to do the hit, so to speak.
And when they leave, also keep in mind, we know where they are, boat-wise. So they can be suspended out at sea as well and raided. Like, we are among pirates. And I know a pirate that would love to board a vessel that has Dragovich on it and stab him. So we all know that pirate, roughly.
Here's the hitch, though.
Yo.
I probably have to bring this information to Brina, considering Peter was there. Peter probably knows I have a key. This is all stuff I'll have to bring to Brina.
Yes.
So.
Yep.
But hey, that makes it easier.
Yeah, that is helpful to the plan, but it is an element we have to take into account in our arrangements.
Of course, as well as the safety of Seeker Islay. Yeah.
Well, he just doesn't have to tell anyone. They don't just shouldn't tell anyone.
I think it'll be quite clear, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Can you ask
Their poker face
Brina?
wasn't so bad. I just had certain advantages. And yes, I will talk to Brina about keeping them safe.
Yeah. Willow has slight doubts of concerns about the safety of Seeker Islay, but
that's not my main concern right now.
Oh, damn. Well, Willow's is. They are thinking of it.
I didn't
They're
say
still
that,
thinking about it.
but
oh no, of course.
It's obviously just
behind
very
the scenes.
flippant. Like, yeah, I'm going to talk to Brina about it.
Maybe there could be some sort of guidance. Luca,
are you worried for Seeker Islay's safety?
Of course.
They're protected. Luca smiles and nods.
Oh yeah, Luca met with a vampire.
Well, that's news to me. I didn't know they had them in Regalport.
Yeah, same here.
Like, can I do an intelligence check or something, or like a whatever check?
What do you want to know?
Do I know? Why would it? Do I know about a vampire here? Have I heard any whispers of that in the past?
I think no.
No?
I think this is the first time you're hearing about it. I don't think you've been interested in the Blood of Vol prior to meeting Luca. I think you just kind of ambiently knew about them, but you didn't.
Yeah.
You weren't really that familiar with them anyway, so.
Okay, yeah, well, if there was a sparkle in Willow's glasses, you see it as their, like, vampire.
Yeah. Tell them all about it.
I will.
Elaborate, please? Thank you.
Do you want me to roleplay it out, or? Yeah. Seekanirius, I spoke to him, and he told me that I'm doing my best, and that's the best I can do. And I told him about what happened at the auction hall and mentioned that someone might be using our faith for nefarious dealings. And he took up his sword and said he will deal with it as best as he can.
Oh.
Smiles.
Willow's brows kind of furrow. Like, they're still smiling, but it's like a concern. Oh.
He's going to speak with the authorities, though. So...
For whatever that's worth.
Oh.
And I have no
Okay.
doubts he will protect Secret Islay should anyone nefarious come lurking.
If we're lucky, we'll get to anyone nefarious first.
Oh, and I gave him the flowers you gave me.
Oh. Did you like him?
I think so.
Good. 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 We've made progress. I think Willow is a bit confused about what we did with the vampire. Like, did we...
Would you
Is
want to
that
give me
going
an
to be a-
insight check?
Yeah. Or like a intelligence kind of, like...
Would
do
you
I
be
know
worried?
that?
It's either an insight check or a straight intelligence roll. Okay, on an
Oh,
insight
sorry.
check.
Oh.
Yeah. The 15 is good enough. So Luca tattled that somebody was using
Reported to
undead
teacher.
the wrong way.
Mhm.
And now the biggest undead in the neighborhood is like, well, we can't have that.
But who is he killing? Like, how
The
is he going
undead.
to determine who... The undead?
Yeah.
But... Huh?
What is Mim confused about?
Like, yeah. Killing the undead that were at the event? The ones that were mostly dead now? Are they dead?
Basically, yes, they are dead.
So
They are permadead.
What?
So he's basically going, so if anybody has a store of undead to use as an attack, if they have any
Oh.
extras, he is going to go hunt them down and put a stop to it.
Okay, I think once Willow pieces that together, they would just be like eyebrow raised and like, that's convenient. Good job.
Luca smiles. Sits up like, yeah, good job, me.
The fruitful venture.
Very. You'll inevitably have another conversation with Brina in the morning to relay the pigeon facts.
Yes.
I have an appointment. And those two have fire hot in their tails, I suppose.
It's not
Should we be
looking
going
good.
after them?
We'll wait for Brina.
We'll see what Bruno wants to do and then...
Makes sense. I guess I'll sit on my tail. Sit on my hands is the expression. I'll sit on my hands until then.
I'm sure you won't
Until
have to wait long.
Yes. Intrigue is knocking. Does room service come to the room? Like, sorry, obviously. Does room service get delivered, like, with a knock? Because I feel like Willow might
I thought we already
play
had it.
with...
Yeah,
You
we
already
were
had
already
it.
eating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fuck
we're
it.
eating.
It came fast!
We kind of
Yes.
skipped ahead a little bit.
Yeah, no, fair. I just still feel like it came fast. Anyway, so,
But yeah, it's
Willow's
the,
just gonna
it's the
mention that we
Hilton.
should get dessert. Yuck. Willow's just gonna mention that probably get dessert. They're probably gonna go back to the menu. Like, reward time. Wind down time. We did good. Your goodness was that you guys did good. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What were you two doing today?
Reading.
Willow looks at Damon. Oh, I'm just about to say reading. So they
Told
both
you.
say it at the same time. Reading.
Of course.
Anything interesting?
Nah. Now this one tried to ask me about cults and
Willow
conspiracies.
nods, frankly. That is a
Ah,
normal thing to ask.
you're getting that a lot lately, aren't you?
Really not my area of expertise, nor my area of interest.
Sucks for you.
Maybe I'll find a cult for you to look at.
Please
we can have a
don't.
trifecta.
Willow faces the wall so hard and just looks through the dessert menu.
Come on, don't take my thing.
Oh,
Okay.
look, Willow, you're going to meet someone tomorrow. Yes.
Morfred Bartosh.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind if I accompany you? Just to be nearby. I don't have to.
Yes, nearby would be fine. I don't
Yeah.
want to be seen with you. In the way of I don't. It'd be best if we remain separate.
Yes, we'll
So-
leave sometime after you do and find someplace near the home of Morfred and just hang out. Luca's good at
If it
hanging
turns
out
out-
while people are working.
So I've heard. If it turns out that you are busy, busting some claws. Anyway, if it turns out that you're busy, I'll just give you the address, and if you hear anyone screaming, feel free to come to my aid.
A certain little homunculus comes smashing through a window, I'll know there's trouble.
As you should. How do we feel about cake? I'm going to get cake.
Per cake.
Cool.
How much money do I spend on room service tonight, brother?
It's on Damon's tab. Hell yeah.
Willow's giving him money.
He's already
Really?
Willow's already given him a headache. The least we can do is give him some money.
Literally.
Speak for yourself. I'm spending that man's money.
Let me look at. 8 times 3 is
24?
Good
Yeah.
job.
so you spend 2 gold.
I'll round it up to 3, just for his hospitality.
Keep the change.
Cool. You tip the room service.
Nice.
All right.
Can I make a quick
So we were.
sneaky insight check on Willow's vibe over dinner?
Sure.
Sure.
Her
I'm not
emotional
going to
state?
contest, I guess. Oh, no, yeah, I'll persuade.
18?
Fuck off. They're satisfied with what you guys have accomplished. Like, that's
Yeah.
true. They're they are deliberately taking time to have a wind down because it's been tense for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Their heads
That's good.
they're still ticking.
Willow is taking a breath.
Yeah.
I think is what I say. Is like
Yeah.
you can only sustain being sad continuously for so long, and like it might swing back eventually, but for now they are just
It will. Yeah, it's a light moment. On
yeah.
purpose.
Good. Good for them.
You know, it's like grief doesn't happen all at once continuously. It
Yeah.
comes and goes.
They are
Sometimes
making
it's
an
worse
open.
than others.
Yes, making a window for that opening. Like it's an accomplishment. We should like count every accomplishment as it
Yeah.
comes. We
Yeah.
accomplished something big. Let's have cake.
Cool. Okay.
Very glad you didn't do that like 30 minutes ago because you would have been like Willow being like, Luke is in trouble. Maybe.
I would have done it when Lucas sat down, but we'll pretend.
No. 30. An hour ago when Willow was talking alone with Damon. You went.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
know,
Anyway,
but I'm just saying, like, Luca would have done it when they sat down, but
Just to
We'll just-
check on Willow.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'll just say it's like this inside chat has been going on through the conversation, so.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
keeping an eye on Willow's state.
we good.
Okay.
Cool. So, anything you guys want to do before you bed down for the night and get ready to continue on tomorrow?
I don't think so. I think
No.
Anne's going to
Okay.
tuck the key under their pillow and go to bed.
You don't think there's
Okay.
somewhere safer than that?
I guess we could put it in Willow's pockets, but Willow's going to be off somewhere, so we can't keep it there. Keep it in the pockets overnight. But then we'll probably take it back in the morning. They probably are going to be taking it to Brina, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can keep it in Willow's pockets if Willow is amenable. That does seem like the most
Yeah.
the most difficult place to retrieve it if someone
Yeah.
made an attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Willow will put it in their pocket.
Jingle jingle.
Jingle jangle.
The sound of it falling into the
Yeah,
abyss
just
that
like
is my pocket.
dropping it into
Jingle, jingle, bing.
a well. You just hear a bouncing. Are you gonna be able to get that back?
Willow shrugs, heads to bed.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Time will tell.
It's a surprise.
You know what? I will do an insight check on Damon out the way out the room, as an aside.
Sure. Sure.
Wow. You know what? I want to do one too.
Okay.
Luca sees Willow carrying. Is like, I want to
Never mind.
Oh. What are you looking for specifically? Just his general attitude, or?
General mood, whether he's going to sleep after this.
Yeah. Looks like
Mood?
he's feeling fine. He looks like he was like a little bit hangry. So it's
Oh,
like,
okay.
when
you
you're
know,
hungry.
one of those things of like you have been studying for so long, and then like
Yeah.
you actually go take the break, and you're like, okay, yes, I am normal now.
Good.
So yeah, he
Good.
seems to be fine.
Mission
Seems to be
accomplished.
pleased that you guys are doing well and do not need much of his input on this particular venture.
Except for what I bothered him about before. But yeah,
Yeah, but that's not related to the murder mystery.
that we know of.
Does he just not care about the murderisty at all?
He said he'll leave it up to the professionals.
Yeah.
He has a different viewpoint on all of this.
Yeah.
What is a
Leave it
murder
up to the
to a
detective.
dragon?
Like a normal person. No, just like a normal person.
Yeah, we're
that isn't embroiled
special.
in bullshit like our main character ass party. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got
opinion
his
makes
own.
sense.
Like, it's sad.
Sorry.
It's not good.
Okay.
He's pragmatic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's also
He
like,
doesn't have the same stakes in it that we do.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
He was not emotionally invested in the well-being of Tarek Alham, unfortunately.
Nor his lack of
Like, it's-
eyes.
Hmm.
Really, I'm only here because these two are here, so
Don't
And
worry.
also, murder is wrong, and you
yes, murder
Yes.
is sad.
and you're
And
and
people
you're-
are
you're a good
besmirching my
boy.
faith.
Yeah.
I guess I have more stakes than I thought.
yeah.
Hey, just think about it for a couple seconds, Luca. You'll get there.
Stand it up, babe.
Murder is bad.
Look at his journal.
You can best believe he's written that in his journal.
Oh.
Oh, honey.
When you have brain damage, you sometimes,
Yeah, look.
sometimes you gotta. No, I
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
like
actually
literally for the folks at home,
Literally, yeah,
literally
yeah.
Luca has brain damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not reminding himself. It was like a, murder is bad, so I don't want to contribute to it, but I guess if I have to, like,
Oh.
Ah,
Okay.
I see where this entry might have fallen into place.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
keep going.
Anyway, so if yeah, I think And can you roll me a wisdom saving throw real quick.
Oh, lovely. Are you gonna talk to the eye?
Oh my
Oh,
fucking
good,
god!
God!
It's all come crashing down, baby. Everything I've been holding on to since that breakdown. Jesus Christ!
Shit! Rom!
I don't control the dice.
You know what? Preambling this, Willow's leaving Fishdog on the whatever flat surface is in the room. Okay?
Cool.
It's
Or
there.
whomever may need it.
No, not the don't change.
Not.
Damn it! Damn!
So, you all head to bed. Ready for...
Luca does his skincare routine, which he
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
so happy to do. Thank you, Secret Elsa.
Yeah.
Pour one out for her.
If nobody got me, I know Seeker Elsa got me.
There is a sideways glance of maybe we should talk. Nah, it's okay. We'll just keep with the vibes of tonight. It's been a good night.
Yeah, you don't know when this wisdom save is happening. You don't know what this is about.
No, I don't.
So, you all make ready. You have your schedule for tomorrow. Audrey is going to go meet with Brina Dimadani and hand over that key and hopefully get a deeper insight to the mystery. I mean, if it really was the Emerald Claw operatives that staged the attack and murder of Tarek Elham, then that's a big lead you can follow. They have history. They have names in newspapers.
They have motive.
That's They have motive. They have a tangible lead. They have an organization.
Yeah,
They have a headquarters.
big juicy lead.
Yeah. And since they're tied to Karnathi extremists, hey, maybe you can get Edmund Beckett pinned for treason to the crown of Brayland.
Maybe so. It opens
All
up
sorts
a lot
of...
avenues.
It sure does. So, you get yourself ready for that next step. Maybe Meraldine will get justice. And certainly, you can find your way into that ambush that you know Brina is probably going to set up.
Mm-hmm.
So, you'll head to bed, anticipating the next morning. And you dream. You are sitting in the backstage of your mind, mentally preparing yourself for the challenges ahead. Part of that preparation is refining your mask. Audrey sits prim and pretty in her chair in front of the dressing room mirrors, her eye patch set aside for the moment while you polish up her look.
Having fun? I think that's you. Come on, let's make sure you're ready.
You begin to work on Audrey's hair, carefully combing out the tangles, curling the ends until they cradle her face.
Remind me, who am I playing? You are Audrey Whistler, the star of the show, the arcane investigator clad in red. With your charming tongue and quick fingers, you are undaunted by anyone, even the High Prince of Lazar, even the greatest detective of Regalport. The spotlight is where you thrive. No matter the audience, no matter the danger, the gamble. Nothing breaks through your poker face. Wow, so dramatic. Run me through my lines.
You begin to work on Audrey's makeup, a subtle pink to emphasize her clever mouth, a healthy red dusted on her cheeks, a careful hand tracing the knife-like shape of her eyes.
You'll know what to say. It comes to you naturally, as if you can't lose. Like, everything amuses you. Like, you always know a secret that you're not telling. With eyeliner that could kill, I might add. Look at you, creating something out of nothing with your own 2 hands. I see now. This is what you were made for. What are you going on about? That smile on your face, obviously. Alright. There.
You put the finishing touches on Audrey and step back to admire your work.
Perfect. You're gonna knock them dead. Ah, I can't take all the credit. You deserve the applause just as much. I'm not made for the spotlight. Please, is that what you really want? With a face like yours, it'd be a crime to leave you in the shadows.
Audrey takes Anne's hand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Takes Anne's hand. Gestures for them to look in the mirror. Come on, take a bow with me. And laughs and looks in the mirror, a smile on their face.
Instead of the face you've become used to wearing, the shock white hair, the round pale face, with the sarcastic mouth that belongs to N, you see a familiar, olive-skinned, elven man. The shy smile on his face drops as he sees himself again for the first time in a long time. His long brown hair braided by his ears and pulled into a ponytail at the back. Prominent nose, blue eyes staring back in disbelief. His name is Thale.
There's a silent moment as N moves Thale in the mirror, touching one of my braids.
You touch the braids, and the length of his ears. His fingers are long and elegant, gentle, made for detail work. There's a smudge of blush on the back of his hand, a pincushion strapped to his wrist. The tools of Thale's trade. Your trade.
Don't tell me you've forgotten your lines now. I guess you'll just have to ad-lib. No pressure.
As Thale scoff laughs incredulously, a voice says, "Made you laugh?"
And Thale startles. Attention snaps back to Audrey, but Audrey's not so Audrey anymore.
Her left eye is closed, but her right eye remains wide open. A flickering blue-purple iris and stark white pupil boring into Thale's eyes. What do you do?
Who are you? What is this?
Oh, well, you can still call me Audrey if you like. I'm just borrowing this face for a moment. I figured it'd be a good way to reintroduce you to the way things are these days. You've been asleep for a pretty long time.
Is this the... Am I still... Is this the Snapdragon?
Not really. It's more of a memory of it. But you're safe here.
The eye? Do I recognize the eye? In this woman's face?
Make a intelligence check.
Ooh.
You do.
You! What do you want from me? Haven't you done enough?
I just want to talk.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Audrey holds up her hands. Like, you feel that the features of the room start to grow blurry as you panic a little bit. And Audrey tries to, like, calm you down and says, like, it's all right. I'm not going to hurt you.
Your work,
I mean,
then.
really. Look, it's complicated.
Then explain yourself. Where am I? What's happening to me? I remember fire and pain and screaming. What's happening to me?
You are safe right now. Don't worry. You're hiding inside of N.
N?
You remember N? Yes.
N.
They remade themselves. After the fire and the burning, you escaped. They escaped.
Why are they using that face?
Let's say they weren't happy before, and they decided to make a change. I'm sure you'll figure it out as time goes on. You've got a few new faces around here. I'm one of them, obviously. Well, I'm borrowing this one. I don't really have a face of my own. After all, I'm just an uninvited guest.
Yes. You're an eye. Is the I know one. Is the dark one here? He doesn't want me to talk. He doesn't want me to talk to anyone, not you, not anyone. Where is he?
He's busy. Don't worry. He's a little overzealous, but really, what Kai wants is for N to be safe. But the problem is, nobody's ever really safe all the time, are they? And being safe doesn't mean that you're being well or free. You went through a lot. And it wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault either. After all, I didn't ask to be planted in your head. But here I am. So, we might as well make the best of it, right?
What do you want? What do you want from me?
Oh, I just wanted to, give you a chance to talk. I mean, like I said, you've been asleep for a very long time, and arguably, you've been hurt the worst out of any of us. I mean, you were betrayed. You were the one that got caught. And then, all that nasty stuff happened. I figured, you deserve a chance to remember something else.
This, and Theo touches at the pin cushion attached to his wrist. What I was made for.
Audrey gives a smile. Her features sort of slowly focus in a little more before they were starting to fade as you were panicking and sort of breaking out of the construct of this dream. You know this is a construct, but hey, that's what you do, right?
Illusions. Yeah. They'll sort of...
You paint faces on people so that they can tell stories. Audrey steps up behind you, smiling gently, and sort of gently grabs you by the shoulders.
See? You don't have to be scared right now. I know you're hurt, and I know you've been having a really hard time. I mean, the last thing you remember was the worst experience of your life. You haven't really had the chance to think or feel anything since then. So I figured you could use a breath of fresh air.
I am vaguely aware of things. I know that N is ashamed of me and would prefer me dead.
Well, that's a little bit harsh, don't you think?
I don't know what to think. Look at me.
Exactly. Look. I am looking. But if you keep relying on what N thinks you should think of yourself, and all those other voices N has been listening to without speaking up for yourself, well, how are they ever going to change your mind about you?
I just want out. I don't know about any of this other nonsense. I want to breathe air that isn't filled with smoke. I just want to see the stars. I don't want to be in this place anymore.
Well, there's an easy way to do that, you know?
How?
Let's wake up, go for a little walk. You're at a hotel. It's the middle of the night. You can steal a few minutes. I mean, you're a grown man.
Wouldn't I be stopped? I've been stopped every other time. Every time I push on that door, he pushes back. Grabs me.
Like I said, he's a bit busy right now. Come on.
Yeah, I think...
Audrey
yeah, Thail's
offers
gonna
her hand.
take her hand, and... yeah. Gonna go with her.
This will be our little secret. So, you know, you can take a quick little sneak out for the night. Just make sure you return to N in the morning. Then nobody will be the wiser.
Yeah, yes. Yes, thank you.
Come on then.
She takes your hand and leads you to the door.
Thail's afraid to touch the handle at first. He's dealt with so much pushback from every other persona on the other side of that door for one reason or another. Been snatched away when he's tried to reach out. He's just sat back here in this darkness. Sometimes it's not darkness, sometimes it's the opposite, and that's worse. And he's desperate. So he's going to open that door.
Audrey helps you by twisting the handle and leads you outside. You awaken, Thail, in the bed closest to the door.
Slowly rises from the bed.
Make a stealth check.
What do I do to wake up right now? Tell me.
Hey, in old fairness, Fish Dog's making a perception check.
What's Fish Dog's passive perception?
Fish Dog's passive
Please say 10.
perception.
Please say
How
10.
do I know this? I'm looking at the sheet. Let me just remember how to read for 1 second because I'm having multiple moments stacked on other moments. Passive perception is 14!
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, Fish Dog sees the arguably N Fishdog knows N is a changeling. It's just N wearing a different face. I mean, N's been wearing a lot of different faces to go around lately, so it's not that unusual. Just sort of sit up suddenly, like they've startled from a stressful dream.
Hey, stressful dream. Can Fishdog fly to you? Fishdog responds
Sure.
to stress. Yeah.
I think,
Hey,
Thale's hands are shaking when he wakes up, and
Yeah.
he does take Fishdog as it floats into his hands. Kind of a look of acknowledgement, like, this seems familiar. The tactile sensation of Fishdog seems familiar to him, so he takes it, acknowledging it as something comforting, which he really needs right now.
Yeah.
His hands are visibly shaking, but he will...
Yeah.
That's probably why the stealth check is 9, because he's not exactly...
You just woke up.
You just woke up. You just woke up from the worst night of my life, and now I'm here in this very peaceful room with these people that I'm aware and has a certain degree of trust in. But this is our little secret, so Dale's going to wordlessly move for the door.
So, Fishdog
And I
tucked under
wake
one
up.
arm. No?
Bitch. Hate you. Hate it here. Keep going.
Keep going.
So?
I love this so much. I'm so stressed.
You open the door. You pause as Fishdog beeps a little bit. And then you go back and grab N's door key.
Yeah, I
From
think
the
Thale,
bedside table.
jumps, visibly, almost off the ground when Fishdog beeps. He's just, super high-strung.
Yeah.
Don't worry, that just
Fishdog
makes
does a
Fishdog
little-
stick to you harder.
Yeah. Fishdog goes beep 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 and points at the key.
Yes.
Make an intelligence check again. Okay, so you're a little confused and rattled, but you think this orb is helping you?
I think Thale, is keeping an eye on it as he, creeps past the Fishdog. Or he continues to keep eye contact with Fishdog as he reaches for the key. Snatches it, still looking at Fishdog, and then with the same, orbit, moves back to the door, cradling the key in his hands. Thanks.
Well, it's not stopping you,
And then moves.
but it is gonna follow you.
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty sure.
Good boy. Good boy.
Thale doesn't really know what to do about that, and the siren song of the outdoors is a bit too tantalizing for him to really bother with that right now, or being all that stealthy. He's just excited to get outside.
So what does N wear to sleep? Because that's what Thale is wearing.
Yeah, I probably
I
just...
imagine the armor has underclothes.
Yeah, for sure. Probably just black t-shirt,
Yeah.
something simple.
Yeah. Socks, shoes,
Yep.
slippers.
Shoes.
Okay.
Thale needs to look
So
his
Thale-
best
Thale-
in these. In 1 minute time that he's going to take, he's not going to go out in slippers.
Yeah, okay. So Thale puts on Thale at least puts on shoes so he is not walking through the streets barefoot.
Yes.
But yeah. You exit into the very dimly lit hotel hallway and make your way down the stairs and out into the courtyard. You know where it is. You've been there before. You instinctively know where to go to get outside, and this little floating construct orb follows you as you head outdoors, and for the first time in so long, for the first time in an eternity, you step out and smell fresh, sea-borne air of late spring. The air is cool, a little bit chilly, but that just makes it all the more invigorating as you step outdoors and see the faint twinkling lights of the city streets of Regalport.
I-
Up ahead, stars in the sky.
Theo instantly breaks into tears at the sight, and he steps far away from the building, so he's standing just directly underneath the vast expanse of the stars. And the tears are running freely down his cheeks, but he's smiling, and he's gazing up at the stars, and he opens his arms to them. Then he starts to laugh, and he reaches for Fish Dog, because that's the only thing here, and he takes Fish Dog by the fins, and he just starts spinning around in a little dance under the stars with Fish Dog as his partner, laughing and crying and just sniffling hard as he tries to breathe in that air through his nose that's getting plugged up by the tears, and it's just a crashing of relief and joy and so many feelings he hasn't been able to indulge in for so long.
You dance with Fish Dog, who just goes weep, 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 but plays along with you because, yay! It also comes up and, like, nuzzles you gently in the face as you cry, and when you finally stop spinning around, you feel yourself get dizzy.
Yeah.
For the first time in so long, you're dizzy. You stumble, laugh, sob. It's all so much. And this little brass orb comes and nuzzles you, its little fins wiping away your tears and
Theo,
beeping gently at you. As you hold it, you feel a little
he's
thrum,
embracing it.
like a little, you feel a little heartbeat thrum in its center. Nice and steady. A little warm.
Tavern's a mess. He drags his arm across his face. Tries to clean himself up. You won't tell anyone, right?
Weep, weep.
Our little secret.
Weep, 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 weep.
Willow. Willow. Yes. I'm vaguely familiar. Somewhere that Theo can sit. I think he's just gonna hold Fish Dog in his lap and sit somewhere.
You can find a nearby bench and just sit and watch the stars. In the distance, you hear the chiming of a clock. It's about 3 a.m. You've got a few hours before dawn. Even raucous Regalport closes up for the night. So, it's just the sounds of a city at sleep.
Yeah. I think even... Go ahead.
It's quieter than the neighborhoods you're used to, but...
Yeah.
There's just enough noise to be familiar.
I think being outside at all is like already an overwhelming experience, so this kind of quiet introduction back into the world is welcome. And yeah, Theo's already feeling so overwhelmed. I'm not sure he's gonna go anywhere but stay in the courtyard and just sit there and listen and be in the world for a little while.
Yeah. You take your time getting used to existing again. There are flowers in the courtyard. Some bushes of flowering plants. Closed for the night, but still beautiful.
So beautiful. And the air is cool and crisp.
Yeah. You smell the salt on the breeze. The fresh linens of the hotel, still sort of, the smell clings to you. You've always loved the smell of fresh laundry.
Yeah. Yeah, just sitting there, listening, sometimes with his eyes closed, sometimes with his eyes open. Holding Fish Dog.
Fish Dog lets itself be held. Seems perfectly content just to hang around with you while you take it all in.
Yeah.
Clock strikes, distant. Time is moving maybe a little quicker than you would like, but hey, time is moving at all. So
Yeah. Can't
that's
complain.
something.
It is the first few hours in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
It'd probably take a lot of effort for Thale to pry himself off the seat and go back inside, but those were the terms, and he will follow them in hopes that this is the first of many outings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As you head back inside, back to the room, sky lightening outside, it'll be an hour or so before dawn. You spot a familiar hand on the door. The writing that you know is the voice of the one who gave you the key to your cage, let's say.
What does it say?
You did good. See you again, same time tomorrow night.
A little smile creeps on the edges of Thale's mouth, and he nods eagerly.
The writing fades, and you return back to bed.
Yep. And we'll return
Safe
to
in the
N.
knowledge. Safe in the knowledge that this is not your last taste of freedom. Your little secret